Hello students, hope you are doing good. I'm Dr. Suhas Manjunath. In the last lecture, we had seen the basics of IEEE and we have seen till the flow of events taking place in this online counseling procedure. Today, we'll see a little more details which the students have to bear in mind while attending the counseling with submission and allotments admissions. The first one, registration fee and the security fee. What is this registration fee and security fee? How much is it? Will this be varying according to the categories of the candidates and the very like the category of the institutes which you are opting? Will see this. Two kinds of fee which the candidate has to pay at the time of registration. One is the registration fee, which is a non-refundable kind, and the second is security fee, which is a refundable kind. So first one, non-refundable registration fee. This varies according to the category. For UR, unreserved category, EWS category, and OBS category, for the categories of institutes like All India Quota Government, All India Quota Government Aided, Central Universities, as well as National Institutes, it is 2000. For the candidates of SC or ST or PWD, it is 1000, and for deemed universities, it is 5000. Remember, this amount is not refundable. The next kind of fee is refundable security fee. This gets refunded to the candidates after joining the allotted college or if the candidate did not get any seat during counseling. This kind of refundable security fee doesn't vary with the category, but it varies with the category of the institutes that the student that the candidate exercises. Take for All India Quota Government, All India Quota Government Aided, National Institutes, as well as Central Universities, the fee is 10,000 for all of the candidates, all of the category candidates. Coming to the deemed university, it is 50,000. So these are the two kinds of fee which the candidate has to pay at the time of registration. The question arises, in a case of a candidate apply for both All India Quota Government, All India Quota Government Aided National Institutes or Central Institute as well as deemed universities, does the candidate have to pay fee for both of these? Candidate is not expected to pay for both of the fees, but the candidate has to pay only the higher fee. Take an example, if the candidate is applying for All India Quota Government as well as Government Aided etc. as well as deemed university, the candidate has to pay 50,000 as well as plus 5,000 non-refundable. It becomes 55,000 as deemed university has gotten higher pay. So like this the candidate has to pay the higher fee. Next, is the security fee refundable in all cases? Not refundable in all cases. Like the conditions, if the candidate who has been resigned from the joint institute or course allotted during second round. So in the second round, in the last lecture also we had seen in brief, in the second round if the candidate exercises exit from the allotted seat, he has to his fee doesn't get repaid. If the candidate who has been allotted a seat in the third round or the mop-up round and does not join in the respective institute. Third scenario, if the candidate not joined seats in second and the third round from round 1 and round 2 admitted seat respectively. So if the candidate hasn't joined in the seats which he had got in the second and the third round after getting upgraded in the first and the second round. Fourth scenario, if the candidate gives wrong information at the time of registration on the basis of which a seat may be allotted and later cancelled by admission authorities at the time of reporting. It can be like category, if the candidate has applied for OBC and does not have sufficient document to support his category OBC application, then also the security fee gets forfeited. In these conditions, the security fee is not refundable. This is important. Usually students has this very frequently. what is this exit window, how to exit, and which and all rounds the fees get forfeited. Two kinds of exits are there: free exit and exit with forfeiture of security money. First, coming to the free exit is available in the first round as well as second round. In the second round, the condition is that the free exit, if not joined, free exit can be exercised only when the candidate does not join the allotted seat in the second round, and there is no free exit if the student is joined already. Coming to the exit with forfeiture of security money, this is in the third round only if the student or the candidate is not joined in the allotted seat in the third round. This was about the exit window. Candidates can avail the option of free exit after first round, need not report at the allotted institute. So, if the candidate has exercised free exit after the first round, he need not report to the allotted institute which he had got allotted in the first round. Coming back, the candidates who have joined their round 1 seat but do not get upgraded seat in the second round and now want to resign from the allotted seat 1 round 1 seat, such candidates have to report in person to resign from their earlier seat within stipulated time to avail the free exit. Take the scenario: candidate who has joined in the first round seat and he doesn't get the upgraded seat in the second round at all. Now he thinks he want to resign from the allotted seat in the first round because he didn't get the expected upgradation of seat in the second round. In such case, that candidate has to report in person to the that particular college and resign from the earlier seat within that stipulated time to avail free exit. Coming to the next important point is any documents required to get registered online. So we all know this complete online counseling procedure is online itself. Does the documents being uploaded time? No documents are required as it is an online allotment. However, same information needs to be entered as that of given at the time of registration for ABGT examination. This is important. Same information is to be entered at the registration process. Documents required at the time of joining in the allotted college, which and all the what is the list? The list of originals which is needed to be submitted in original at the allotted institute. Allotment letter issued by IICC, APGT 2021 admit card issued by NTA, result or the rank letter issued by the NTA, mark sheet of higher secondary, mark sheets of BMS first, second, third and the fourth year, BMS degree certificate, internship completion certificate, permanent registration certificate, birth certificate as a proof of date of birth which is to be in English or in Hindi, and other regional languages is not accepted by the counseling officials. One ID proof, which can be any of these: PAN card, driving license, voter ID, passport or Aadhaar card. From this year, an additional original is being expected from the counseling authorities: medical certificate issued by the registered medical practitioner. And pro forma is also being given from the IICC. I have added it in the next slide. We'll go to it. The original of category certificates like SC or ST certificate, OBC certificate, EWS certificate, and disability certificate if applicable. All these documents are to be submitted in original form only at the time of admission at the allotted institute. This is the pro forma of medical fitness certificate which is to be signed appropriately from the registered medical practitioner. Make sure you before going into the admission for allotted seat, make sure you have all got this done from a registered practitioner. Will the original certificates be retained by allotted institute at the time of admission? IICC have directed the allotted institutions or the participating institutions to keep the originals of the candidates who are getting allotted in their institutes, and they are released only on upgradation of the seat or resignation by the candidate. Only in these two conditions the originals which had got collected will be returned back to the candidate. Is locking the choices mandatory before the server timeout? This is important. Students should keep this in mind, locking of the choices. After online registrations, the candidates get 4 days of time to fill in their choices of their preferences. Okay, till the locking of choices is done by that particular candidate, it can modify that list of choices n number of times. But once the choices is being locked, it cannot further modify it. So fill in the choices of colleges or courses in order of your preference and lock it before the server time. Make sure that you have locked it before the server time. If a candidate does not lock the choice submitted, it will automatically locked as per the schedule. So there is no harm that the choices you have applied will get locked automatically. The thing is, the candidate might not have locked it, so thinking that he will be making a final moment changes according to the preferences, and he might fail to do so. At that point, the screen gets locked and he can't modify. Make sure you finalize the order of preference and lock it within the stipulated period of time itself. Once the choice is filled in, it can be modified only before locking. So these were the next set of important points which the candidate or the students need to bear in mind at the time of applying and choice making. So this was for today. In the coming next lecture, we'll see all of the details regarding the first round, how the events take place, what are the possibilities, outcomes, and how we have to go through it. I'll be telling in detail in the next round. Thank you.